Hey everybody, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notify button so you know when you're getting new episodes. And we just want to grow this project. I thank you in advance. Without further ado, let's get it rolling. The Shout Out Show. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. This is your brother, Preacher Moss, the host of the Shout Out Show, the SOS. You know, I've been looking forward for this for a couple of days, this interview, and I know I probably have bugged some people. I know I've sent out a fair amount of emails, a fair amount of Instagram. It does not matter, brothers and sisters. If I had it to do all over again, I would do more of it, basically. That's all I'm going to tell you. I do more of it because every once in a while, you run across somebody that's very, very unique. You run across somebody that has a compelling story, but it's in two parts. There's a compelling question, and then there's a compelling answer. And we don't get that at odd times in society. What we get is a very, very rushed, a very, very comfortable, neat fit. And so the person I'm about to bring on is someone I met a couple years ago, and her story was quite compelling. I'm actually going to, if you allow me, to play something from her situation. I don't like to say her tragedy, that was her situation, because I think when you hear this person speak, you're going to clearly understand that this person is connected to a type of spiritual energy that a lot of us, maybe we forgot about. Maybe we discounted in our lives. Maybe we feel like it's just not there anymore. So without further ado, and housekeeping, of course, for anybody that's coming out on the show for the first time, we appreciate you. You can put your comments in the box. I'll try and get them as humanly possible. This show won't be as many comments because I want you to hear this story, unadulterated, uninterrupted. That's number one. Number two, for the people that do tune in and are regular viewers of the Shout Out Show, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And we hope that this particular episode, this special edition, and I said it in the Instagram, I said, I want you to meet a Muslim hero, a Muslim female hero, to me. Now, I always say, you know, I like to state my case and then I lay out the evidence. This sister's going to lay out the evidence. So let me give a shout out to our producer, Sister Sastana. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your help in this situation with all the graphics and last minute changes. Sister Ree, I hope you're feeling better. Get your rest. Get your rest. What you're going through, you need your rest. Okay, let me bring my guest in here. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sister, how are you?
Walaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, Kwais Jiddan. I am very good on just knowing that you and I are still connected. It just makes me feel as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is granting me one more favor in my life.
I mean, I totally feel you on that. I totally feel you on that. Now, I have to say, folks, that my sister, in the words of John Lewis, has been getting into some good trouble.
No doubt.
I said, my sister's been getting into some good trouble. And when I say good trouble, brothers and sisters, you know, there are things that happen in life. There are things that happen in life, man, you just can't count on. And then there are things that happen in life, and the response in some regards is something that you just can't count on. My sister here, I have this queued up, and I'm gonna have to say, you know, when I was watching this on, and I've seen it before, I still get choked up. I still get choked up, and I'm a man. I'm a hardcore dude. But I'm gonna tell you something: when a mom breaks you down, doesn't matter if it's your mom or somebody else's mom. When they're stepping on that truth, it hurts. It hurts. And, you know, sister, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, but if you don't mind, I just want to show like 3 minutes of this clip. Is that okay?
It is my honor. Please.
Is it okay?
It is my honor.
All right. I thank you so much. I just want to show 3 minutes of this clip. Sorry about that. There we go.
Okay. Javon, I don't know if I'm supposed to address you directly, but I can't help it. I have to. I really don't want what's happening to you to be happening. But I cannot change what has happened to you nor my son. I promise you, he would never have harmed you. And he would have given you everything if you just asked. And you're not by yourself. Those who were with you are just as guilty. So don't think that you are the only one. And he would have given you everything he had if you had just asked. But I know him well enough because I raised him and all my children to have the Islamic way of living their lives. So to honor him, I'm here and I am offering my family to help you and those who were with you to see a better way of life. You're going to a place where they're going to control you. But you will also have an opportunity to take classes and to learn and to get an education and to get training to feed yourself and maybe help your mother when you come out. And I would like to, my family would like very much to be a part of your seeing a better way of life so that this does not repeat itself. This is what my son would have done with you. So I must honor his way because I taught him that way. So I hope you will at least consider allowing my family to be a part of your life now, but in a better way, because I will always be a part of your life. Any life that you take is not just one life. It is all that is connected to that life. And they will always be a part of you. They will always remember you. And I promise you, you will remember. So rather than have you go through more agony in the future, consider allowing our family to come visit you, to work with you, to help improve your education, to make sure that you have a skill that when you come out, you can feed yourself and you never have to walk this path again. And in the interim, you can see a way to help your mother and your brothers and sisters who look up to you, even though looking up to you is looking down right now. I wasn't sure what I was going to say, but I don't hate you. I can't hate you. It's not our way. Showing rahmah, mercy, that is our way. And you were a baby, and you are still a child who need help. So at least consider allowing me to write to you, allowing me to come visit you, help you with understanding. Education is the way to free the mind in a better way. And learning to feed yourself is the best way. So please consider this. And I know this is so different from what you may be used to. I cannot hold this bitterness. I will not hold it. And I plan to be involved with your mother, if she allows it, to try to help her. Because we've got to stop this disease that is eating up our society. And it does not come from hate. It comes from love. You cannot cure it without it.
That is amazing.
His death was already ordained. Maybe the purpose is to save your life. Because you're not going to be killed by this society. It's not the penalty of death that you're facing. You're actually going to be facing life should you live through this and come back out. It would hurt my heart to the end if you came back to the same cesspool that you came out of. Because you will see no light. And you need to see light. There is a better way of life. But you're in control of it. I just want to help you. So that I may be able to save someone else's life, including your own. This is what my son would have wanted.
I mean, I don't really know where you go from there. And I tell you sincerely, when I've watched that, I don't know if I could have done it. And I don't know if I've ever been touched that way before, or if I ever will be touched that way before. But if I ever have to go through a loss of a loved one, I'm going to watch this video because it was a teaching moment. You know, it stripped down so many things and so much foolishness, and you brought it back to this principle that it was not your way. I mean, it was not your way. I mean, where does that come from? You know, what did your mom and dad put that in you? Did they instill these ideas?
Islam did. Studying al-Islam. All the way before pre-Islam, and then the period when the Prophet Muhammad SAW was chosen, and then all that they went through, so that someone like me, who did not even exist, could know this deen and understand the way, Allah's traced out way, that He designed for man to behave on this earth till the time He calls them back to Him. That's where that came from.
I mean, there you are. You're looking at the person who robbed you. They robbed you. So it wasn't a robbery of just money. They took your son's life.
They stripped from me a part of my life. It wasn't a robbery.
Yes.
They stripped it from me without permission, without justification, without even being polite. They stripped from me a part of me. And it took me going to my faith to understand not why me, not why my son, but first seeking an understanding of what happened to that child. That child. Children are not born like that, Aki. They're not born lying, stealing, cheating, hating. They're not born with racism and bad language. They're born with light in their eyes, joy in their voice, hope in their hearts, and a curious mind. And they look to us to teach them something that Allah put in them that we didn't put in them. The creator of everything seen and unseen gave a favor to all of mankind. That kindness, that joy, that curiosity, He gave it to us as a favor. And
Now,
then he placed a gift to us, the children. And we, the adults, are supposed to teach them how to reach for the universe so they can catch a star. But what are we doing to them?
can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
I can't fathom it. Just the loss of a child. It conjures up all kind of metaphors of just a dark place, an abyss. But out of it, in that speech, somehow you held on to something. And what could be metaphorically total darkness, you found a rung on a ladder, and you didn't just pull yourself up, you pulled all of us up. You pulled all of us up. And even myself, I had to even revisit and remodel what I thought was compassion. Because sometimes compassion for people is comfortable. You mean I can afford to be charitable? I can be,
Yeah.
but when it hits you like that, you start questioning yourself. Like, could I do that? And that rung that you caught on to was a certain type of patience that led to a certain type of awareness that led to a forgiveness we just haven't seen. We haven't seen. And I when we first met, you told me what it was. I watched it. Then I set it down for a while. And then it bothered me. It's almost like, let me make sure this thing isn't, special effects or character generators, or the words are being dubbed in for this sister. 'Cause I watched the court shows. I'm pretty sure I would have been jumped over a couple tables and 4 or 5 bailiffs I would have wound up going to jail trying to get somebody going to jail. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm going to let you speak on it. What are 2 words in that time that it gave you your get up and go? It gave you your mojo back. Not all of it, just a little mojo back. What are the 2 things, 2 words, if you could boil it down to 2 words?
I can boil it down to 3.
Okay.
I can't boil it down to 2, but 3, because it's the formula that Allah
Well,
inspired in my heart.
Can you give me the formula?
True forgiveness, true mercy, and doing good.
You say that again.
True forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
true mercy,
Mm-hmm.
and doing good.
That's,
It's though doing good can be chopped into more words or 2 more words, but doing good, it has to go together as one word, one substance.
yes.
Forgiveness, mercy, do good.
Let me
do good.
give you a shout out. You have a shout out for Sister Kathina. We're happy to have you on the show. All these people, they support me. So I want you to know they support you more. They support you more. So this process happens. And it's easy to say, okay, sister was in court. She was emotional. She was speaking from her heart. But you talked about, I'm going to put in work with your family, young man. And I'm going to put in work with you, young man, if you allow me to. You're asking permission from this young man, from a young man. You're an adult. He's a child. He's a legal child. But you're asking for permission to increase him, to make him better, to work with his family. I saw the video, by the way, of you with his mother. So anybody who's out there thinking, oh, this is no joke. I saw this young man's mother cry with Sister Rukiye. And they're working together on a project we're going to talk about in just a moment. But sister, you didn't have to do it.
Yes, I did.
You didn't have to do it.
I did.
If you didn't do it, everybody would have totally understood.
No, my Lord would not have understood.
Say that again.
My Lord would not have understood.
Okay, I just want people to know who you're working for.
That's
Make sure you let the people know who you're working for. I say it twice for the government. I mean, one for you, one for the government.
Well, having studied my faith and the depth that I have, only so that I will be a better servant to him. I know the favors he's granted me. I know my life that I've gone through. And having these beautiful children, they all have one father. And though it may not have turned out the way I really wanted it to turn out, I was granted 3 gifts. And that was my 3 gifts, which was my children from my loin. I know that none of us got to choose what land we would be born in, what families, what, not even our eye color did we get to choose. We chose nothing we had any say in. So when someone is granted certain favors where their life is not as tough as someone else's, it is a favor. And when you're granted a favor, you're open. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran always talks about the favors that he has given us. You have to look at Surah 55 and you know, Surah Rahman, the beneficent, where he talks about, and of the favors of the Lord, which one do you deny? Which one? Which one? So my son was sat upon in 2015. The trial and everything didn't happen until 2017. Now, I was not aware of the cameras in the court, nor was I there for them or not to be there for them. But for 2 years, and the way that Muslims pray, we are spiritual people, not religious. You need to unabridge that word and unabridge spiritual to get a clear understanding and the correct understanding of who Muslims are. And make your adjustment, because Allah's way was designed long ago. And I have done nothing truly different than many of the prophets have done, or their followers, when they were sat upon with absolute trial and tribulation from people who, just because they said, La ilaha illallah, there's only one God, they wanted to kill these people for saying that. And they went through a lot of torture, and their children, wives.
Let me
wait. Before you ask that question, everyone understand, before I could do that, I had to seek forgiveness from my Lord. It was 2 years. And what you don't understand is that forgiveness, true forgiveness, first starts with you. And you may have to ask yourself, well, what did I do? What did she do that she needed to be forgiven? And there is an answer to that, but we're not going to do it today. I just want you to understand that true forgiveness starts with you, and you have to be honest with yourself. Honest with yourself. And then you have to lift up the curtain. Lift it up like this hijab. Lift it up and look underneath. I'm not lifting it. No, not this hijab anyway.
You know what? I heard a rapper named KRS-One talk about forgiveness, how people need to learn how to forgive. And his wife coined the term that you have to understand blame. And blame, the acronym for blame is because looking at me ain't easy.
All this revenge and all this unkindness that people are experiencing with each other and to each other is because we're not being honest with ourselves. And you can't hide that heart, and you can't hide from yourself. You can lie to yourself only but so long. So once you start going down that road of truth, you got to be able to take it. But once you take it and watch how the Creator clears all the muck from around you, and you begin to hear with your heart what He wants you to do, and how He's healing you, and how you will move forward to take His message, if there's a message, to whomever it is. He always has a message for us.
Let me ask you a question. Now, how are your other children doing?
Everyone is going along. They're getting along. They're not bitter. Because part of it is because of how I have been carrying this.
Yeah.
We the adults, you have children now. Your responsibility is to show them how to be the better, take the high road when it's necessary. And right now, in this pandemic of trauma, from 500 years to present day, we have not been doing that for our own people, let alone people around us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we ourselves haven't addressed that trauma. We feel it. We know it came from the whippings that went from generation to generation to generation, and we carried it on. Our parents carried it on. We did not deal with the wrong that was done and correct that or break the chain. And so if you think you can take something that's terribly wrong and just dismiss it or place it under the rug and that everything will be okay or put a bandage over it, no, it's a festering wound that will eventually reveal itself.
That's right. Now, let me ask, because you have a very significant event upcoming. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show, well, one of
Yes.
the many reasons I wanted to have you on the show, because I always enjoy our conversations. So I want to be totally transparent with people. I knew this is not somebody I had to go do notes for. This is a sister I know. I'm very clear about her spiritual piece is tremendous, and it should be commended. I always say, two things change each other. There's a compelling answer, and there's a compelling question.
Okay, true.
I said, it's just interesting to be able to sit down and have this conversation with you. Now, you have something upcoming
Yes.
called the Flower Pot Project. Could you please, for all the people who may not know about the Flower Pot Project, would like to donate or just make dua, could you please tell us about the Flower Pot Project? And I want everybody to know that Sister's here after her and the volunteer have wrapped over 3,000 flower pots. I'm gonna let you tell it. I'm putting you on blast. Please tell us about the Flower Pot Project.
The Flower Pot Project is based on the fallen on these streets. All of the fallen from whatever pandemic of trauma they have been experienced, from suicide, which is almost three times that of homicide, suicide. And it's creeping over into the Muslim arena as well. So don't think it's only happening to non-Muslims. And the gun violence, knifings, domestic violence. Our children are actually experiencing it. And remember what the Quran tells us. It's a 40-year period before they reach truly adulthood, where they are responsible. So it's a curve that has to keep going up and up and up. Otherwise, wherever they stop that growth, because that's what trauma does, it stops the growth of the human mind, let alone the body, but definitely the human mind. They are still back in that time period or that age period where they haven't developed yet. They haven't been able to comprehend because of the trauma they have gone through or still going through. So when you talk about the fallen, a lot of them are really our children. This is coming from the age of 2 years old. 2 years old. 2 to the age of 34, 35. They're being killed on these streets, and these are the future. So Allah has given us an understanding, those who continue to seek his understanding and seek the knowledge, that this world is created with innate laws. And there are many of them. They're not hard to understand. They really aren't. But you need to know them. And one of these is the innate law of mankind's future? Well, the Flower Pot Project represents the three B's: babies, butterflies, and bees. Without them, mankind has no future. I don't care what you say you believe. I don't care. This is actual truth. Children are your future for mankind. Once you've had that child, you are no longer the future. That child is, and you must show them how to reach up so they stop reaching down, picking up weapons of all kinds. I don't care what drugs. I don't care what weapons they are. They can be drugs. They can be guns or knives or whatever it is. They're reaching down because they feel no hope. They're oppressed. They're depressed. They're drugged up. There are all kinds of things. So the future is your children, all children, not just yours, but all children. And the butterflies and bees, they're the pollinators. We have a lot of different types of pollinators. It's just not just bees and butterflies, but you can't pollinate one thing. If I'm lying, pollinate a blade of grass, something you can't even eat. And you can't do that. No, you can't. So this innate law that Allah put into existence, the creator of us all seen and unseen, He created this innate law. Without those three things, absolutely three, mankind has no future. You can't even get shade because you need the pollinators to make the leaf, the tree, and anything else that goes with that tree to have the shade. And if I'm lying, go out to the desert. Go out to the desert and see how long you'll last, because there are no trees out there.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Now you've thrown a stone in the water here and created some very big ripples. Now you got to follow all of that truth and knowledge up and tell us what's going on with the Flower Pot Project this month.
This month, we are actually doing what's called the protest pots.
Okay,
the protest pots. They're small little pots that we are standing up against VRF. We're taking a stance. And what's VRF? Violence, racism, fascism. We're saying stop the violence, stop the racism, stop the fascism. I come from an era. I'm 69, by the way. I'll wear that. I've earned it. I'm 69. I come from the era of the time of knowing how the civil rights began. I was part of it. A child who observed it from the very beginning, not when they were in the streets marching, but when they were building in the back room, planning to go to those sit-ins. So where they're going to sit at Woolworth's counters, where they said, now we get to see that no Negroes allowed. They use nigger. No niggers allowed. No niggers can. Woolworth, Sears, J.C. Penney's. I remember. And here it is, the racism actually coming back up again. Now, it was undercovers. We should have stayed alert and realized, but we got complacent. Mm-hmm. And fascism.
Enough said.
Enough said, right. Oh, thank you. So they go hand in hand. When you start letting racism come in, or vice versa, you're going to have one or the other is coming with it eventually. So I cannot bear, and I couldn't bear seeing this materializing. So I called my group together and I said, we're the Musketeer Association. We have our pledge, we have our purpose, we have our mission. And I know the Flower Pot Project is one that we're going to be releasing. We're working on it. We just started the fundraiser on it. We've got everything together about the flower pot. And we've developed our own Q code because we've taken ancient technology and married it with the latest technology. And we are going to introduce it into our communities to beautify them, save the butterflies and bees, and give our people who are being challenged ways to find help immediately with the flower pot.
Now, what was okay? Now,
At this event,
how can we help? How can we help with the flower pot?
you can donate. We need you to donate. We need you to become a musketeer. We need you to study about the project so that you have a clear understanding and represent, because we want it in your communities. And we're planning on releasing it first here in Cincinnati. It's been an uphill battle because this is a perpetual project that actually will teach not only you, but your children will have hope. They will have light. It is a mashallah because I'm not that brilliant. I know where this came from. And it truly was an inspiration from the heart. That Tasha praying day and night, tahajjud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Day and night I was praying before my son, but it got increased because I needed to have resolve inside my heart that my Lord is still pleased with me.
Can I ask you a real quick question, sister? Where can they find this information out?
www.themusketeerassociation.net. www.themusketeerassociation.net. And on there you will read about the project. Become a musketeer. It's a simple process. We just ask for your name, your email address, and you say you support the Musketeers or the project. And that's it. We don't get into your affairs. We don't want your affairs.
The musketeerassociation.net. We got you running across the bottom. Now, sister, I know I won't hold you because I know you got what?
No space. You got a space in there. No space, everybody. Don't put a space between the and the M.
I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that.
There's so much, you've asked so many questions, but look, the protest pots are going to be at the Freedom Center. We're going to put a display on with our signs that are addressing all the trauma. And we are doing a silent protest. It is truly spiritual, the heart. You think that your voice has volume. When you get just a little bit further away, you can barely hear you. Spirit and what is put into the heart rises to the heavens and resounds and rings into the hearts of the people even when they don't want it. I know that because that happened during the civil rights when we first began.
Exactly. So I want to know what's the objective you want to come out with the silent protest.
I have vowed as the CEO of this association to stay there until 5,000 people sign saying our petition that we have: stop the violence, stop the racism, stop the fascism. If 5,000 people in this millions of people in this city cannot come forward to at least sign that petition, which has no political gain whatsoever, if they can't come forth and do that, our city is lost. And every city in this United States is lost if 5,000 people, a Sion of people, can't say that, can't sign their name on it. And I'm going to give you an example, and I know we're over the time that you know.
No, take your time. I work for me. It's okay.
Okay.
I like my boss.
I'll give you an example of what that means when you sign your name on something. Marriage, when you're married, you sign a contract. And it makes a difference of your commitment in your heart because you don't control that heart. And now, I'm going to take the Constitution of the United States, the Declaration of Independence. When those people, we're not going to address what their intentions were. Let's put that aside for the time being. And remember that they were fighting against a tyranny. They wanted to be free in this country to do whatever they want without that tyranny all over them. They wanted their freedom. So a Sion of people came together and signed that declaration. They sent it to the king. Do you know what that king did with it? Does anyone really know what they did? I'll tell you what he did with it. He tore it up. He laughed and tore it up because as far as he was concerned, America belonged to him. The Americas belong to him and his kingdom. And it doesn't matter about these people. I don't even know them. And there's a handful of them. It doesn't matter. But what it did to the ones who signed, it made them stand forth in the sea of all that not darkness, all of that tragedy that they were going to deal with, all of that naysaying, all of that, what's the onslaught that's going to come. And they stood and they sacrificed. They sacrificed a lot and they got others to do the same with them. And here we are today of quote unquote freedom. But that's the point. The point is you have to have a conviction. And if 5,000 people in this city can't get me out of the street because they really believe that we need to stop the violence, stop the racism, stop the fascism, then this city is lost. And every city in the United States is lost.
So, Sister Rukiye, this has been amazing.
I'm not going to leave, by the way, until 5,000 people. So if you want me out of that street and back in my home, back here in this masala and library, you only see a Sion on my book.
Do the people need to come to you and sign a petition, or are you going to send a petition out through the city?
Well, however, there are people who, because of the C-19, they're afraid to come out. There's some people who want to come, but they have to be at work, so they want their co-workers to sign. So I've given people the opportunity to do in every direction, like Allah gave us the opportunity to become spiritual people. He never shut a door that we couldn't go through except the wrong door.
I like the way you said that. So, Sister, let me thank you for coming on the show.
You honored me. This is your show.
Thank you.
So many people. I mentioned your name. I might as well have been like, it was like I had the king and the queen of Abyssinia. I was like, well, that's my brother. He's Aki to me.
I think that's the thing. Like, you're my sister, you're my big sister, and I just appreciate the example, if you will, that you're giving all of us. You know, especially in such a weird time with COVID and social justice. It's just been just a constant bellwether for me to be able to look out and see just these little nuggets, these little things of mercy. And so when times get rough, you know, I can find that I can look at you and go, you know what, that sister was grace under pressure. No, she was gratitude under pressure, and it takes a little bit off of me, and I can think about it. You know, I don't take this wrong, and nobody else take it wrong. But to me, sister, you're like my OG. You're like my OG sister, and so you're my OG sister in mercy and compassion, and I appreciate you. And whatever I can do, you know, I will do. I just hope everybody got a chance to partake of this conversation and take a look at one of my heroes, somebody I hold up, and the lessons that you shared were priceless, high value, but they were appreciated and so needed.
Well, on Sunday, we'll be doing the training because people don't know what it means to be still, be quiet. And I'm not talking 15 minutes. I'm not talking an hour. Now you imagine sitting in Canada and they're spitting on you and throwing their feces on you. And they're calling you all kinds of names, and they're going to tell you, we know where you live. We're going to rape your mother. We're going to rape your father. And we're going to do all kinds of things to you. All kinds. And they did. Now you imagine you have to sit there and still say nothing. Nothing.
It's that strength, sister. It's that strength.
So we're going to teach them on Sunday.
And I'm going to make,
inshallah,
all kind of dua for you. And
get me out of the street. I'm not used to being in the street. I've never been in the street my whole life. Not like that.
Hey, look, call me if it goes real long. I'll send you some Uber Eats.
Well, phones are not allowed. There will be no phones until after So we're going from early morning, right after Fajr, all the way to Maghrib. Nothing. You have to be spiritually thinking of goodness, kindness, stopping that violence, putting it into the airways, because it really does resonate with the cosmos. And you're seeking from the creator, whoever you think your creator is. I'm not here to bring into Islam. Allah will do that if that's what he has designed. I am here to walk the walk and talk the talk of my faith. And my faith says, be still, be quiet.
My sister, I salute you. I thank you so much.
So get me out of the street. You can do that. And please, everyone, donate and become a musketeer.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Sister Rukiye. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
It is my honor. Oh, can I say the musketeer pledge? Or is it too late? If it's too late, okay, I understand.
Go ahead.
I pledge to stand forth as a constant reminder to myself and others to bring light, beauty, and truth, to unify, honor, and ignite a beacon of hope in our neighborhoods, our communities, our cities, and our nation. Wherever there is despair, hopelessness, oppression, injustice, fear, or humiliation, I will be that lighthouse, directing all for safety and justice. Tyranny reign no more, not even for one of us. One for all and all for one, inspired by Allah in my heart to write that. That is our pledge. One for all and all for one is our motto.
My sister, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and an honor. And like I said, whatever you need from me, you got it. All right?
All right. And same here. I'm here for you anytime.
Ameen. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alaylaka ghafur lahu li wa lak. May Allah forgive you, me, and all of us. Make your duas, because they are a mountain of gold to me.
Ameen. Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, this is your brother Preacher Moth. Listen, I hope that you enjoyed your shout out show experience. We'll be back with the next show, the next shout out show. Simple ask before you go, please help your brother out. Click that subscribe button, click that notify button, and I'll see you again on this side of the microphone. You probably wonder what that smell is. That's me. I smell good. And the reason I smell good is because I use oils from Tarifa Tar. So I'm not saying you can't smell good. I'm not even saying you stink. I'm saying you have the opportunity to smell exquisite. Check out tarifatar.com for some of the best oils and scents in town.